Hey guys, welcome to Rebel Media. We are at the Kennesaw Museum to see the General from the famous Andrews Raid Great Locomotive Chase. And 15 minutes till they close. So here we go. Alright guys, we don't have a lot of time. Gotta be fast in here. So we gotta be looking real quick, but we're here to see the General. And so they close in 10 minutes, so it's going to be a fast tour. This is a cool little display of the destruction of Atlanta and what the Union did to the rails there. I don't know if this would count as a necktie. I think they could hammer out that one bend, but normally they would wrap it around a tree and it would resemble a tie. Nowadays, as you go through the museum, they have these underlying messages about the Confederacy. Here's the Ku Klux Klan with the flag, which is unfortunate that some bad people used that flag. It doesn't mean that the flag is bad. Here's an original Georgia battle flag, which is pretty cool to see. And as we keep going through the museum, these are monuments that were removed from public places. Here's a equestrian statue of Robert E. Lee. And this John Bell Hood statue that we're about to see was in the state capitol in Georgia, and it's been removed too, which is also unfortunate in my opinion, but here it is. And if you guys ever want to check it out, you got to come to the museum to see it. Here's a cross section of everything that went into making a locomotive. Pretty interesting to see. And here is a little model of the Lacy Hotel. This is where the crew and passengers were having breakfast when the train was stolen from underneath their nose. A group of Union spies led by James J. Andrews made an audacious and brazen act of sabotage aimed at crippling the Confederate supply lines and communication. They hijacked this Confederate locomotive, named the General, near Kennesaw, Georgia, where we are right now, with the goal of damaging the railroad tracks and infrastructure, disrupting the Confederacy supply routes. The Union raiders intended to steam through Georgia, cutting telegraph wires and burning bridges along the way. The ultimate goal was to create chaos, delay the Confederate troop movements, and aid the Union's military operations in the region. It was a daring and provocative attack on their infrastructure. The Confederacy relied heavily on the railroads in the war effort, especially for the transportation of troops and supplies. The South, railroads were their lifeline for the war effort. But the Confederate response was swift and determined. A chase ensued, the Confederate soldiers under the command of engineer William A. Fuller giving chase to the raiders. Despite the Union's initial success, they were ultimately caught, and most were captured or killed. The incident became a rallying point for the Southern morale, as the Confederate forces had managed to stop a daring attempt to disrupt their transportation network. Just looking at this train, it's hard to believe all the history that goes along with it, and how cool to have it here for everyone to see and check out. The train that chased it, I heard, is in the Georgia Museum of History. I'm going to have to get there on another video. Hey guys, that was cool. I know I was really rushed. I wish we could have dug in a little deeper, but it's hard doing these trips. I've been to 3 battlefields today. Everything closes at 5. So I'm just happy I got to see it, because it was my very first video I did was on the Great Locomotive Chase. So thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like and subscribe and all that stuff. And I really appreciate you. And see you down the road.